Wishing Nithya ramen were super easy to remove. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on a church and get it on. And welcome back, Jiaoying Summers, and welcome, Pink Foxx. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too.
Pink is a comedian, transgender comedian, and was open for Patton Oswalt and Russell Peters and lots of notables. And good to see you. Good to meet you.
You as well. You as well.
Jiaoying, you know Pink?
Yes, she opened for me at the Apollo last year. I need somebody who is black enough
smart.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did the New York Comedy Festival.
Yes.
It was great.
How was the Apollo for you, Jiaoying?
It was a lot of Asians. It smelled like dim sum afterwards. It was Asian invasion went to Harlem, and all of the black people were complaining because Panda Express closed in the region.
Oh, yeah,
There's no-
Panda Express.
Yeah, no orange chicken, nothing left for them that night, so they had no choice but come to my show.
So Asians like Panda Express?
Asians
Or blacks like Panda Express.
Yeah, I think all American likes. Black people like it. White people like it because like honey walnut. It's so sweet. It's tailored for American taste.
Pink, what's the pecking order for black fast food restaurants? I mean, now that Red Lobster's gone, and you guys must have
R.I.P.
all had a moment of silence for
That's
Red
hilarious.
Lobster.
That's hilarious.
Everyone took a knee. Just
We
about
only
dropped
took a
their
knee
head.
for the biscuits and the scampi. Everything else, we're like, get rid of it.
They
Yeah,
found
but
the
so
end to the shrimp.
Red Lobster's gone. Now we're left with Popeyes.
It depends on the region of America you're in. Because if you're in the South, then it's Zaxby's, right? Like that's a good chicken place in like Atlanta. If you're anywhere else, maybe Popeyes. People still love Popeyes. I hate to go stereotypical like fried chicken, but I don't know. And then McDonald's is. If it's not number one, it's number two, and if it's not making you number two, then you're going to the wrong McDonald's.
Listen, I love stereotypes. I always think they're clarifying. And I did a bit once where I was with the Bishop Don Magic Juan.
Oh, church.
And preacher in church, and green is for the money and gold's for the honey, as he would tell you. And Snoop Dogg was there with his posse, and when I walked into the guy's apartment, everyone was just eating Popeye's chicken. And
See?
I thought, well, listen, you can call the stereotype, but I don't see any Irwan being spread around this place. And there's no sushi. It's what he eats. And I think when you get to Snoop Dogg and the Bishop Don Magic Juan, I think they speak for Black America.
Yeah, I would say so. And that was probably some greasy blunts being passed around. I'm not going to lie.
My God, there was so much pot and so much fried food. I don't know if I recovered for weeks after that. But, yeah, the Bishop Don Magic Juan is really in an exclusive, rarefied air of American who lives in an apartment and drives a Rolls Royce. I don't think there are many. You could count them on one hand of people. And I'm not talking about Miami Beach penthouse, $14,000 a month rent. I'm talking about Culver City, bad side of town, lives in an apartment and drives a Rolls Royce.
I love that for him, honestly. Because look at this guy. He's got the game figured out. He's like, pay low rent, drive a Rolls Royce, and every suit's green.
Yeah.
Isn't that the definition
gold.
of hood rich?
Yeah.
Like you're the place where you live isn't that impressive, but you got the best sneakers, you got the nice car.
Is that hood rich?
I guess. I don't know.
But
I
you
don't
can't
know.
wear green hat though. In Chinese culture, green hat means your wife or husband's cheating on you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, nobody wear green hat in Chinese culture.
Well,
We
he's
make
a
fun
pimp, so what's that mean?
All his hoes are giving money to other pimps.
You really?
okay.
So if you wear a green hat in the Chinese culture, people know somebody's cheating on you?
Yes, that's what you call, like when say somebody's cheating, was like, oh, he's wearing a green hat, his wife's cheating. So that's like a saying. So also like if you wear it before they cheat, they will cheat because you wear the green hat. They can't help.
Wow, I wish we had that kind of signaling system here in the
Yeah.
States. Yeah, we don't have anything. Well, we do a yarmulke. That's sort of a green hat. Because
Is that how you know your wife's cheating? When someone's...
that's how you know the green is involved.
Yeah,
When,
green is
when your wife's really hot and you're not, and you got money, your wife's probably cheating on you.
You think so?
Maybe. In
Yeah.
some cases, not all.
Well, what, Pink, so what, you're transgender.
I am.
But you're pre-op transgender, right?
Okay, well,
Or what do we call it now?
you know, we just call it trans.
We just call it trans.
You don't have to get an operation to be transgender.
I'm saying, but you do at some point if you're getting intimate with
Are you
somebody.
asking if I have a dick, Adam?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of.
Adam would like to know if I have a dick, America.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about my dick. Yes, I do have it. I am willing to pull it out, but I wasn't paid for that. So I'm going to need somebody to come through with a check, and I'll put it on the table, and we can talk about it. I'm just kidding.
Is the check going on the table? or is
Yeah, the check's
dick
going
on
next to the
table?
dick to measure it. Yeah,
Ooh.
it's the
Pink,
same
can I
width.
see it?
Of course, but
Oh my
after the
God.
show.
Oh,
After the
okay.
show.
I would love to see it.
All right. No, I'm not asking for me.
Okay, all right.
I'm asking for
clarify.
potential lovers.
Oh yeah, I have a dick.
Yeah, okay. So they,
Yeah, but we don't. I wouldn't call myself pre-op. How you doing? I'm a pre-op transgender. Nice to meet you. No,
Listen, I'm old school. That's what we used to call it back when I did Loveline. It
Is
was
it?
post-op, pre-op.
Yeah.
We had all kinds of names. We
I'm
had
on that.
transvestite.
Well, that's
we
different.
Had cross-dressers.
That's also
There had
different.
all the different categories.
Yeah.
Yeah, my problem with transgenders, I don't know. See, and I need to know. That's all.
You don't know your problem with transgenders, or you don't know when you're looking at them, you don't know. Is that the issue?
It's not clarifying. It's not definitive enough.
Okay, I got
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
It's
That's
one of
why
those
we used to
things-
have post and pre. So then you knew.
I think being trans is one of those things where it's like there's an umbrella of terms, right, and terminologies that we understand that you don't understand because we don't want you to.
Right, but we
Oh.
still, we argued over Caitlyn Jenner for a long time.
Okay,
We
cool.
weren't sure
Yeah.
if he still, or she had the junk or not.
We don't like her.
You don't?
So, yeah, fuck
okay.
Caitlyn Jenner. I'd like to say that on
Wow.
this podcast.
That
where's your
sucks.
camera?
You got one, Olympic athlete
yeah, and
on
it
your
sucks.
side of the trans aisle and you don't like him.
Here's the thing.
Or her.
Yeah, they're not on our side. She's not on our side of the aisle. She's like, hey, I'm transgender. And then it's like, it's so funny. It's like somebody walking through the door and then shutting it. Like, literally, like, never, like, not good for what we're doing
Is
at
it
all.
Caitlyn? Is it her politics that
I don't
you don't
know if
like?
it- I-
Or
I don't-
what is the
I don't like her posture. She slouches way too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not digging the makeup. I don't know who's doing it. I don't know if it's Kylie Brand. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But just straighten up is what I'm saying.
Listen, I like tips, and I think there's terminology for everything now. So I think because my interest with the trans is, and the reason I asked post or pre-op is because I think the person you may be taking home may want to know. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, we
And
disclose to the people.
the disclosure, it should be called?
Yeah.
If you have a dick, you say, I gave him a heads up.
That's funny.
That's good, right?
That's
so
funny.
we don't have to say dick or no dick. You go, did you give the guy a heads up? And that's how we know.
Well, okay, so I don't date men.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. let's
Yeah.
see. Okay.
I'm not attracted to men.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so that doesn't really apply for me, but I completely understand. But I do support disclosure. I always tell my trans girlfriends, you got to say something. That's just my opinion. You could be as beautiful as you want, and we've seen some gorgeous trans women, but say something. Even if you got the pussy, which, by the way, there's a new surgery, and I think it's in Thailand. It would make sense that it's in
tracks,
Thailand,
yeah.
right? But I mean, the pussy looks amazing.
Oh, really?
I mean, you can't tell. I can't
Really?
believe it's not pussy.
But if you don't test it, you have to test it with your dick. though.
Well, you know what? I don't know, man, because I'm like, I'm one of those people. I'm like, I'm a pussitarian. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like, I'm strictly organic pussy. I don't want, artisan pussy is not my thing.
You want the free
I don't-
range stuff.
Yeah, I like the, but I'm not. But there's nothing against it. If anyone likes it, one day maybe. But for me,
yeah, well, you're old fashioned.
yeah.
You
I
think that's
like
it?
I like homegrown pussy. That's just what I like.
Jiaoying, how do you come down on the trans?
Well, I just love when.
you ever been with somebody who's transitioned?
No, I
could
would
change
but
that.
I like it when men are stupid enough to cut off their dick and become a woman, get paid less. I think they are stupid. It's good for me because I get paid more. I just want more men to become a woman.
One less guy.
Yeah, one last guy for me to compete with, and I love when they become women. Also, in Thailand, the women. Trans women, they are so beautiful. It's ridiculous. They look better than me, and so I don't know what to say.
The culture, the features lend themselves to the transition.
Yeah, they-
versus Hungarians. You know what I mean? It just I feel like you're halfway home. You're slender, you're tan, you're basically hairless, you're sort of wafy to begin with. It's not a big leap to get there.
Yeah, it's not a big leap.
I always love the terminology when people talk about trans women and say cut off.
What is that?
Because it's not cut off, it's repurposed.
It's repurposed.
Oh, repurposed.
Yeah, it's repurposed dick. It's they take it, they don't leave anything on the table, so to speak.
Pink, do you think for a woman with big labia, it's easier for them to transition into a dick because it's just like you wrap it around?
Big labia, you said?
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
Curtain.
By the way, that's my rap name.
Is it big labia?
Yes, it is.
I've heard your early work. I'm a big fan.
Well, I started as mayonnaise because I was a white male rapper.
That makes sense.
But I
That
switched
is
to big
hilarious.
labia at some
Big
point.
labia is good.
Yeah.
You and Bishop Juan have a record coming out called Clitoris, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I started
Can't
with
find it.
dusty labia, but then I realized that didn't sound right.
Nah, that's like beach pussy. I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
Sandy pussy.
Yeah.
So is it easier, you're saying, if you got more material down
Yes,
there?
it just you wrap around it. Yeah. So I think if the Thailand boy has little Thailand penises, you just snuck in.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what they're paying for down
Your
there.
BBC is
the
gonna be
penis.
hard. You could keep that gorgeous dick.
Well, I fuck
You
women,
better.
so
yeah, you keep
that's-
that
my
beautiful.
dick
I
is
didn't
in
know you.
use.
I did not know you have your big dick. If I knew that, we would hang out after the show.
We
after
have
the
hung
Apollo.
out.
No, I won't hang out.
I've done your podcast.
I want to sit on your lap.
You want to
Like,
sit?
hang
feel
out.
that.
Jiaoying knows that she could get fucked, and the thing is,
I had no
she's
idea.
beautiful, and I'm single now. When we did your podcast, I had a girlfriend.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so don't play with me, Jiaoying, because I'll take you there. Anyway,
Okay, I take me there.
yeah, all right.
I'm
Hold on.
single.
We
You
have
heard
a
it here
love
first.
con-
You
we
heard
have
it
a
here
love
first.
connection here.
I don't know
I
if
did
it's
not
love.
know you
but
still have your BBC. I saw you were gonna put a strap on. I'm like, no.
I could put the strap on too if you want. I'll just tuck. I'll put the panties on.
One
And we
is
can,
enough. I want the real one. I want
want the real
organic.
one?
I've never played with any toys because I
Really?
want the real thing.
Well, I got you. Fuck it. Yeah, hey, and
nice.
let it be known that it was requested. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
just want to
was-
let the world know because people, comedians, we're in a weird place. Consent, whatever. I'm a woman. I'm a lady. Okay.
Yeah.
And she asked for the dick, so
The
that's
bathroom
on
is
record.
really big there.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
she
because
whipped
she
out.
heard it's big.
Yeah.
Does this count as a
Whipped out.
You
meat
can't
cute?
ask a lady for dick unless you mean it.
Unless you
I
mean
am
it.
I mean, that's my
asking- I want
grandfather
to
used
see
to
it.
tell me
I want to
so many years ago. God
Yeah.
rest his soul. But Jiaoying, you're a beautiful woman. Do you have a boyfriend? What's going on?
I don't have a boyfriend. When I open my mouth, they just leave. I just can't help. And I don't know what should I do. Should I just don't talk?
Well, when you open your mouth, are words coming out or dicks going in? Because I can fix this.
Valid
when,
question.
when the dick go in, and I feel like when I'm sucking a dick, a man would tell me how good I am, but in my heart I know I'm not that great. He just want to encourage me, like you tell a dog, good dog, good boy. The dog is like, yay. But I know I wasn't good because I'm a communist. In my heart, I have a very harsh critique of the blowjob. I'm like, no, you're lying to me. That's not that good. And I just feel like people just say things to get what they want. But I just want to be good at what I do. I'm like, what should I do to get better? But they get used to weak American girls be like, what do you mean? You think I'm not good? What do you mean? But I want him to be like, hey, you don't suck enough. Like it has to be deeper. I just don't want to be like, that's perfect.
What
Want
you're
it
saying
perfect?
is you want dick suck lessons? Because I'm the best friend you could ask for this.
Oh my God. I
I'll
just
keep it
don't-
real.
I can critique a blowjob.
Yeah.
See, that's good.
As good as the next guy or
Yeah.
gal.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
is what we're
but
saying
most
now.
men, they just think that's the best I ever got. I'm like, no, it's not. Why would you lie to me? Like, be honest.
I'm
I
pretty
want to be
honest.
better at what I do.
Listen, it's been said many times. I used to say it on Loveline all the time. I'm not a great lover, but nobody receives oral like me. You know what I mean? That's kind of my claim to fame.
Are you
know
like
what I mean?
you like a moaning guy? You make them feel good.
I feel there's an appreciation like people have for art. You know what I mean? They just stand in front of a painting in a museum and they don't have to say anything. You know how much that person appreciates that piece of art. And that's me.
Yeah. That's great.
I love
Yeah.
that. In this
I
case,
appreciate
it's a
honesty.
Jackson Pollock or
Yeah. I appreciate honesty.
It ends up a little Jackson Pollock. Yeah. It starts Monet, but it
nice.
ends Jackson Pollock.
Nice.
Yeah, you need to get a man.
I need to.
You're being
Can
too
you
hard on
introduce me to
yourself.
somebody? Can you find me someone?
Well, I think there may be a special someone sitting 14 inches to your right.
Well, yeah.
I'll pull my dick out. We can measure.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah,
my
when I
dick-
said 14 inches.
yeah. It's negative space right now. It's right
yeah,
here.
my
but
leg
no,
is
let's cut the crap, Jiaoying. You're beautiful. You're smart. You're funny. you should have a man.
I should. I'm self-sufficient. I don't need any money from any man.
I know, but I think you're bringing your old school sort of communist sensibility to this. This is America. You live in California. There's plenty of guys that aren't old-fashioned that way. They don't think they have to pay for everything. My dad's one of those guys.
Nice.
You know, he was old school kicking it. I mean, there are plenty of progressive guys.
I don't care. I just want them to be honest. They can be progressive or not progressive as long as they don't.
And also,
sugarcoat
there's a lot of guys who have an Asian fetish.
Yeah, but I don't. I have a guy who has an Asian fetish. Just keep texting me. I'm like, all of your girlfriends are Asian. Like every single person is Asian. Every girl you follow is Asian. I just feel like I just don't want to do it. It just turned me off. I'm like, do you like me because I'm chinky, or you like me because I'm funny? I can't tell.
Well, look, funny is nice, but it's not why he's coming after you.
Yeah, because I'm yellow. Yeah.
He looks Asian.
You said ghetto?
Yellow.
Oh, I thought you said ghetto. Because I'm ghetto. I was like, ghetto.
I think I'm ghetto.
Since when?
I can look ghetto. I think I can look ghetto.
I don't think you're ghetto at all. I think you're very prim and proper.
What's a prim?
Prim, like clean cut, you know.
What's a clean cut? Like a tips? You cut?
It's also
like
a city outside of Nevada.
Oh.
Yeah.
But no, we're getting sidetracked here. You need a man.
Find me one item. You have friends.
Yeah.
You have a lot of friends.
They'd be happy to receive oral from you.
I'm very good at BJ's because it's just like
How do you know? You just said they lie to you.
Well, but they really commit after that, and I'm like, and I'm not ready for marriage. I'm good because I'm just really hard on myself. So I do every technique, and I last long. You know, I'm like before they come, I'm like, no, you're not coming.
Oh.
No, you're gonna have it one more time before you come, and they just like torture, but pleasure torture. I know how to do it because I have to be the best or nothing. You know, in China, you know, if you're not number one, you are number two. You are the number one loser.
So number two is number one loser.
I want that guy to remember the blowjob.
I would argue there are no losers in the blowjob game. You know what I mean?
I'd say so.
I would. I just
Everybody's a
don't
winner.
feel like I've ever been on the losing end of a blowjob.
I've been on it. You've had a bad blowjob.
I've had ones that were great and ones that were good, but I felt like, oh man, that was a big mistake, or I regret getting my dick out. I've just never had it.
It's just better than not being a mouth.
You know what I would equate? Here's what I would equate a blowjob with. Pizza. There's good pizza, and then there's not that good pizza. But even the not that good pizza is still pizza, and I'll probably have 3 slices. Like, if someone brings in Domino's or something, I go, come on, guys, why didn't we go to Pepe's on the corner and get a good pie? But I'll still eat 4 pieces.
Oh, yeah.
So blowjobs and pizza are basically the same in that there's really no bad version of it, but there is a really good version of it. You know,
the guys who's
I like a Hawaiian-style blowjob, by the way.
Really?
Glucose intolerance. The Asians
I do the
can't
rings.
eat the cheese. Hawaiian pizza, that's nasty. That's nice.
So I take the ring of pineapple, I slide it over.
Your dick fits in that?
The big pineapple, yeah. There's a big one.
Yeah, they have big bore pineapple
do they?
slices.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Dole Company will
That's some
do
skinny
it.
hole, man.
And then you slide it on through,
Yeah.
and then you have her try to get to it.
Got it.
That's the way to
That's
do it.
Love that.
Nice.
Now,
That's
do you
nice.
feel some type of way when it says, you know, this is a common experience for people that are well endowed, when she can't get all the way in her mouth? Like
Right.
you have a hard time.
I've seen that in movies.
Yeah.
It's never happened to me
Oh,
personally,
shit.
but I have seen it.
If
All
a girl
right.
can't
seen
get
it
all the
in
dick
movies.
in her throat, she should die.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard it here
You
first.
are not compete. Like you can't even do that, bitch. You're done. Don't draw any eyeliners. No.
Any what?
Girls put down lashes, eyeliners, lipstick.
Eyeliner.
Don't do any makeup tricks, bitch. Put a banana deep down your throat. You can't do that. There's no room for you in this world.
That's why we're friends. you
Yeah.
know?
I'm serious.
It's a tough
Unless you're a
culture.
lesbian, good for you.
Right. I think. Look. Let's see if we can further break down the blowjob here. There's certain guys who can chug a beer. I can't chug a beer.
Like the fox.
Like the fox. Oh, well, thank you. We're just talking about the fox.
Did he pass? He's passed.
Yeah, he passed
Rest
away.
in peace to the fox.
He passed away after season 1 or 2 of The Man Show. And but certain guys can chug a beer, right? And then other guys can kind of, do it. and there's a percentage of guys who can do it. And then there's certain women who can deep throat a penis. And I think it's about the same percentages of guys who can chug a beer. And we shouldn't blame the guys who can't chug the beer. That's just a reflexive thing, biology. It's built into them.
Yeah, but like for a guy to chug a beer, it's cool until only in high school. But for a bitch who can swallow a dick, it's cool forever.
Some girls like to sip it. You know?
Is that on your license plate frame?
I should.
I'm saying you shouldn't judge so harshly those who can't because it's almost a biological thing. They have a gag reflex. They can't do it.
Some people has talent that is just she can just live on this talent forever. But chug a beer, yeah, you can do it when you are 15. It's cool, but when you are 20, nobody care about chugging a beer.
I wonder if it's the same gene. Like I wonder if the fox who could chug the beer could take a cock.
I'm sure he had a loose throat. You got to have a loose throat.
It would stand to reason that he could.
Yeah.
My throat's tight, but I can hear it crack when the dick go in, and I know it.
Anyone else getting aroused?
On here, yeah.
I just said the effort you have to make. You have to do it. If you are doing it, do it all the way. Don't put half a dick in your mouth. Just like it's like sucking a dick with a condom. You are disgusting.
Next time I get a bad
blowjob,
next time I get a bad blowjob, I'm calling you on speakerphone to let you reprimand her.
I will discipline her. I will tell her why she failed in life.
I'm starting to believe these guys that you are the best.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
The way
Like,
that
first of
you're
all, I
describing.
heard my girlfriend. I stopped talking to her. She's like, I gave a blowjob. It was great. He's wearing a condom. I said, you should die. Bye.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How would you do that to people? Like, just
Is she a prostitute?
I wish she is, but she's just like, I don't know why he's not proposing to me.
It's the only
I'm like,
people sucking condom dicks is prostitutes on Figueroa.
or Japanese because they like things to clean. You know, the Japanese are very clean.
really?
Everything's so clean in Japan.
Yeah, the BJ condom is no, it's a
I
deal
don't trust
breaker.
people like that.
You know, they used to have something. As long as we're going down this road, I don't know if they still use. I don't know anyone uses them, but there used to be something called a dental dam. And that was for the ladies who were going down on the other ladies. You just put some cellophane over the private parts there, and then you eat cellophane.
That's stupid. You should taste the nasty pussy. You know, you want this woman, you have to taste her.
I think it's a disease. I think they're trying to
there we
prevent
go.
disease. But you know what I would argue? I wonder if anyone is
Do we have
ever...
to tell people to throw it in the trash after? Or are they
wonder-
going to put it in their pocket later?
No, man.
It depends on whose pussy it is. You can
I
sell on
put
eBay.
hot sauce on mine before I throw it away like
That's
Drake.
smart.
You got to
Yeah.
wring it out in your
Smart.
mouth like a fucking...
Oh, it's too early.
I'm sorry.
No. I wonder if there's anyone... You know what I would do if we were out at dental dams is I would just wrap saran wrap around my head,
We've seen that.
and then I could go anywhere.
You ever see Booty Call, the movie? Jamie Foxx
yeah.
and Tommy Davidson?
Yeah.
Yeah, they wrapped themselves in fucking cellophane in that movie trying to get laid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So there's some precedent there.
There you go.
All right. So, what do you want to talk? Titties, a-holes. What's next?
I'm
Hey,
very-
I got a funny story. Go
I'm
ahead.
very lucky.
Yeah.
I have nice tits. I really do. These are
We don't
really-
believe you, Jiaoying.
It's touch it. It's hardworking Chinese.
I'm a
firm
lady. I
Tits.
have my
They
own,
are
so.
very. They are like really strong. I can
Yeah.
smack somebody's face with it, but it
could.
also is perky too. I'm lucky. I got lucky. I don't have a man, but my tits are fabulous. They are great. I mean,
She
I
put
just,
my hand there, everybody.
Yeah, you
Yes.
need.
Fox can confirm.
You
they are
need a
good.
man.
I have nice tits and they are real.
Stop saying you need a man. You don't know.
The only thing fake on my face and my body is my. I think the only thing real is my tits and my accent.
You don't have a real ass? Your ass isn't yours?
It's real. If that's a fake ass, that flat, I should die. You know.
Okay, word.
All right, sorry. You're going to tell us a story, Pink.
No, there was no story. There's a thing going around on IG. There's a reel where women are finding out how the guys put their dicks in the toilet to shit.
Oh.
And they're freaking out. Did you see that?
Oh my God! Tell me.
Okay, so there's like a reel, right? And it's I've been watching the reel, and the girl's like, my boyfriend just told me that he puts his dick in the toilet when he takes a shit, and they believe that, you know, you're splashing shit water on your dick, and it's, I mean, the amount of times this thing has been shared is crazy and stitched. Women are like, holy shit, are you serious? And then they're asking their husbands, honey, how do you take a shit? Please tell me your dick's not in the toilet. And guys are lying because they want their dicks to still get sucked. And they're like, I put mine on the toilet seat, or I put mine on my lap. Adam, how do you take a shit? You put your dick in the toilet?
Well, I'm very unusual for a guy because I pee sitting down, but I shit standing up.
Oh, okay.
So I broke the mold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Pioneer.
it's tough. I'm a pioneer. I flipped the script on the bathroom
You're taking
completely.
shower shits. Is that what's happening?
There was an incident in high school when I may have done that. But no, listen. If the dick misses the toilet, the balls ain't missing the ball. I mean, where are you putting your balls?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like to throw mine over my shoulder.
Like a continental soldier. That's a song. So guys shouldn't apologize for this. That's just gravity. That's nature.
Yeah.
It's from time immemorial. That's how guys shit. Where else would you put your junk?
I don't know, but there's this. I mean, literally, men are lying to their wives and girlfriends.
Can we watch the tape of this?
You got producers. There's got to be. You guys can find this reel, can't you? It's hilarious.
Thank God
Okay,
for the
cool.
micro penis guys. They just
Oh, with the little dick people.
Yeah, they
I
don't
mean,
care.
And
It's
listen,
just-
if your dick's never been in the water, I don't want to hear your opinion.
Oh, you
maybe
saying.
the guys think their dick connect the water like the mangrove trees to get the nutrition from the water.
I hate when my dick falls in the water. It's probably the worst feeling in the world. And I'm not talking about taking a shit. I'm just talking about when you first sit down and your shit goes.
If you can catch the water, huh?
Yeah,
I don't want to be a one-upper, but mine will catch the water, and I can suck the water out.
Uncircumcised, huh?
Yep, I'll
Yeah,
go full
it's like a
snorkel.
shot
Nice.
glass.
One of those firefighting helicopters over the reservoir.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
get
Just
it. Straight
suck
elephant.
Suck it right out of there.
Elephant trunk.
Yep, sometimes I'll just go into the bathroom just to top off with water.
I
Yeah,
love
when I
that.
have to go to the bathroom.
I can't.
Lay
I
down.
didn't know you are not circumcised. That's
I'll
great.
drop it right in like an elephant.
If your
Tusk
room's
or
flooding, just
nose.
call Adam.
My
I'll suck
son.
it right in.
He has a wet vac.
I got a wet pack.
My son's not circumcised. I told the doctor he needs an extra tip when he grow up.
Yeah.
Extra inch.
Yeah. All right. So we'll look for that. I don't know what guys are supposed to do with their dicks.
Maybe hold it?
They have to be in the toilet.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
I think it's ridiculous for women to be upset about that.
I agree.
I mean, the fact that was a realization, and it's like, what? That's ridiculous.
Well,
I'm
we
like,
don't.
Where did you think?
Guys don't go. What do you do with your clit when you
Yeah.
take a shit? We don't have
Are
complaints.
you draping your labia over the seat?
Yeah.
And that's what's in the comment section, and every guy that has said that labia quote is a woman underneath of it saying, "Here's a guy with a small dick who doesn't get any pussy." Like they're getting demolished in the comment
my God.
section.
Well,
it's
not wrong.
funny as shit.
Huh. Now, where do
No
we
pun
find
intended.
that? I think we'll find it.
It's on Instagram. You looking it up? Just hashtag
Hashtag.
poop water. I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
man.
Don't do that.
I think we've have we bottomed out as a society, or do we still have some room to go before we officially just bottom out? Because I feel like we're almost at the bottom
I'm feeling like, we got like 20 years left.
before we
Just
officially
completely.
bottom out.
Yeah, before we're like, all right, somebody hit reset on the game, unplug it from the wall, blow the cartridge. Let's see what the fuck is going on, because it's crazy out here.
Yeah. I was, we have, the Fox. So you're a Man Show fan.
Oh, dude.
Is that correct?
It's funny. So I was talking to Crystal, and I'm like, we had a show together in Venice, and I'm like, yo, I used to love the Man Show. Like, you guys raised me. Seriously. Like, I was sneaking to watch this as a kid, and it was Girls on Trampolines. I must have gotten so much carpal tunnel to the fucking...
Oh, yeah.
But also, not just the Girls on Trampolines, the bits. The bits are
Do you
hilarious.
have bits? You have some of your favorite bits?
Oh, dude, the sock puppets that fuck?
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
It's called sock puppet porn.
Yeah, the sock puppet porn?
And sock puppet porn was directed by Bobcat Goldthwait.
Was it really?
Yeah, he
That's-
used to direct the sock puppet porn bits, which I haven't thought about in a million years.
Now, let me ask you a question.
You like sock puppet porn?
Not...
Sorry.
Yeah. I just on your show. I'm not Googling or putting this shit on Reddit. But did Crank Yankers come after that?
Yeah.
So you guys originated that then? Because like the way that the style that you shot it, the way that the voices, the extent of the graphic content...
On Crank Anchors.
No,
Or
you guys on the Man Show.
Oh, yeah.
Because if that predated Crank Yankers, then that has to be like early Crank Yankers, because it seems like the same kind of comedy.
Is the man show or sock puppet
No,
porn?
so sock puppet porn and crank yankers are so similar.
Yeah. Well, so Jimmy loved prank phone calls his whole life, and he would torture people with prank phone calls.
That's hilarious.
And he really would torture people. Like one time, and I'll make it fast because I've told this before, but Jimmy and I were eating lunch at Carney's on Ventura Boulevard, the hot dog place.
Love that place.
And I was sitting there with him, and some guy was like driving down Ventura Boulevard, because if you sat outside, you only sat about 10 feet away from Ventura Boulevard. And a car started honking on another car, and another car was honking back, and one guy was like following, like doing the uninterrupted, nonstop, because the one guy cut him off. It was a little road rage incident. And I was sitting there, and I study cars, and this guy was driving a green Honda De La Soul. And I was like, there's only one dude I know, his name is Mark, who drives a green Honda De La Soul, and he worked at the radio station we worked at. And I was like, I looked, I went, oh, that was Mark. And that guy, with the guy at the big Cadillac just riding his bumper and honking the horn. I said, geez, that was right. Because we both turned because there was a commotion and the horns and everything. And I said to Jimmy, that was Mark Davis in that car. And they went, oh, okay. And then he went home and he called it. And he did a voice of a scary black man. And he said, hey, motherfucker, you cut me off on Ventura Boulevard today, and I know where you are. And Mark was like, how do you know? I got friends at the DMV. I got your license plate, bitch. I know your home address, and I'm coming for you.
Did he record this?
Yeah, I think he did. And then he hung up on him. And then he called him the next day, and the next day, and he kept giving him details about his life because he worked with the guy. He knew where he lived. He knew all the stuff. He goes, I know where you work. I know when you leave the building. I know who your roommate is. I got all this. I got eyes on you, and I'm watching now. I can see you now. And Mark started going insane.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
He started to go insane. And every time Jimmy would call again, he'd ratchet it up. Like he'd say, I'm outside the apartment. I know you live on Colfax Boulevard.
You got this guy jogging backwards
and
scared to death.
He was going insane. And his roommate was the producer of the show, Lightning. And Jimmy, so Mark would then scream at his roommate all the time. Like he'd go, I went downstairs and the door was unlocked to the garage. What are you doing? What are you doing? He was freaking out, looking over his shoulder, slamming the door, locking it and everything. And so Jimmy said to Lightning, you cannot tell Mark that I'm doing this to him. And Lightning was like, he's going insane, and I have to live with this guy. And he's screaming at me every time I open the door to shut the door, and every time the phone rings, he's freaking out. Eventually, Lightning couldn't take anymore, and he told Mark. And then Jimmy was furious at Lightning for telling him. But he liked prank phone calls. I'll put it to you that way.
He's ruining people's lives, and that's hilarious.
All in the name of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I've been yelled at about an unlocked door, okay? It's not fun.
I went to Mark's house during this period, and he screamed at me to lock the door behind me when I walked in.
Here's something you don't know. So I'm from Jersey. I'm from Camden, New Jersey, right? My dad's from Philly. I talk about this in my stand-up. My dad's a gangster from the 80s and 90s, right? I'm an only child. I'm I used to visit my dad in federal prison when I was a kid. So I'm living with my dad for like 2 months. I might be 14 or 15. I came in the house, forgot to lock the door. My dad walks in. What the fuck? Lock the goddamn door. You don't know who's coming back for revenge.
Oh, I got like Mark
fucking,
Davis now.
He spazzed on me, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I didn't know. Jimmy was doing your dad's voice.
Yeah,
when he
exactly.
Called
Yeah, except my dad's Puerto Rican, so
Ooh.
Yeah, he wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
So the crank anchor. So Jimmy always loved prank phone calls, but we didn't know how to illustrate a prank phone. We didn't know how to make a TV show out of a prank phone call, because what would you look at? So we thought illustrated maybe at first, and then we stumbled onto puppets. So we ended up doing them as puppets, and it's interesting that you can see the same sensibility in the man show as you do in Crank Yankers, because yes, that was me and Jimmy, and then everyone from the man show, the guys we work with, directors, talent, writers and stuff. We just moved it from the Man Show over to Crank Yankers.
Now, you know, I didn't know Crank Yankers was you guys.
Oh, you didn't?
I had no idea.
But you could feel the flavor on it.
I could feel it. As watching the sock puppets, like, you're telling me something new because I had no idea. But yeah, it's there. And shit's hilarious.
I want to see sock puppet porn from the Man Show. I haven't seen that one since we did
it's queued up.
That's queued up. Let's see. The delivery man. The woman sock puppet.
Day in and day out, all I do is vacuum while my husband stays at work all day long. Oh, I'm so lonely. Someone's at the door.
I don't know whose idea sock puppet porn was, and we had a lot of crazed ideas. Oh, he's black.
Delivery man. Oh, yeah.
We had to build a miniature sock puppet set and everything.
There's a miniature vacuum.
What's porn without a wah pedal? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, they're kissing tongues. They're making. I haven't seen this in 25 years.
Is this one person
Oh,
or two?
Jiaoying, she goes down on.
Oh, see, she delivers.
Oh, bite it, baby. Bite it. Yeah.
I remember all the women at Comedy Central were. All our producers were middle-aged women at Comedy Central. Oh. We did the black dick boner.
Yeah. That's the funniest shit.
I'd have to argue with these women on the phone all the time. No, it's fine. No, you can't. No, you can show. It's a sock. It's a sock. He's nailing her on the coffee table.
Little goose.
Is this two people like this?
I wasn't there when we filmed it. I was shooting something else. Right? I do remember there is a money shot.
You're my puppet!
I want to see the cum on her face. How? What do you use?
Keep watching.
Yeah.
I think the funniest part about this bit is that it never ends.
It doesn't end.
It's so long.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm a knee-high, baby.
There's a boom mic that comes in. That is brilliant. I don't know who thought of that.
My name.
The boom mic is brilliant. Silly string.
Why the green?
Because a puppet would have green jism.
Incredible!
And the smoke off the sex.
Places I've never even
Smoking
imagined.
cigarette.
And the wool blanket.
Her husband comes home.
Oh my God.
It made him the corniest guy in the world.
Honey, this is not what you think.
And then they split it. They split the check. Holy shit.
You know, to be fair,
It on TV.
I probably would have went, I don't think this is going to be good for a 3-minute bit.
It's so long.
I know. I was wrong.
Yeah.
The boom mic was sheer genius.
Yeah.
Like that, somebody should win a Peabody. Whoever came up with Johnny. Oh, we got the credits
The
for
credits.
Johnny Lowe.
The credits are the second best part of this sketch.
Oh God. Oh,
And then you're holding the pitchfork like the devil.
I've
It's just,
never seen that. That was
That's hilarious.
I forgot about
My favorite.
sock
That's my favorite bit.
Well, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Because people would always go, oh, guys, chicks on trampolines and guys talking about beer, I'll pass. And I'd always go, no, the bits were funny. The sketches were good. They didn't have oftentimes anything to do with man show stuff. They were just funny sketches.
I mean, testing the limits of comedy, in your show that's the goal there, right?
Oh, listen, we had a bit where the whole thing was I fucked my mom. That was the whole bit.
What?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had a bit. We had a bit where I fucked my mom.
Oh, my God.
And Jimmy was like, I'm not doing it. Because it was originally given to Jimmy. Because, you know, he likes his mom, Joan. You know, she's a nice woman. I bought her a bathrobe for Christmas this year. He likes his mom, and he's a little bit religious, and he's like, I'm not going to do a bit where I fuck my mom.
That's the limit.
And I said, I'll do the bit where I fuck my mom.
Is it your real mom in the sketch?
No.
Oh, okay.
My real mom's not a good actress.
Okay, got it.
She's not blessed with a sense of humor. But my mom did call me. So the way it would work is we'd write the script, and then we'd sit in our office and they'd like pitch the script. You know, they'd go socks and boners and puppets, and we'll do a miniature, and Bobcat will direct. And we'd have to have meetings, or we got the art department involved, and we have to sit there and go, what does the sock puppet porn house look like? And what do we need? We need a miniature boom mic. And we'd have to explain, you got to make a 8-inch long boom mic that looks like we need a miniature vacuum cleaner. Like, this was technical shit. We'd have to like lay it out. We'd have all these pre-production meetings on all of it. And then we had a whole prop department. And like, I'd go down there and go, that doesn't look like a good miniature boom mic. You need to do this and that. So we'd have these whole meetings about, you know, okay, so Adam's going to fuck his mom. He's going to date his mom. How's it work? Well, he doesn't like his dad. He wants to be with his mom. And he ends up at the end in bed with her, making out with his mom. And right in the middle of all that, my mom called me at my desk. And I picked up the phone, and everyone's looking at me in the room, and I go, oh, hi, Mom. And everyone starts laughing, right? And I go, we're just talking about doing a bit with you in it. And she goes, oh. And then I said to her, and she goes, well, what kind of bit? And I go, it's an homage. And she goes, oh, okay. And we hang up the phone, and everyone in the room starts laughing. And then the next time I saw my mom, she goes, I looked up the word homage, and I was pretty flattered. And I said, okay. But she doesn't watch The Man. I know Jimmy's mom would watch The Man Show. My mom would never.
So that was a safe area because you knew she wasn't going to see it.
I could do whatever I wanted that had my mom or my dad in it, or say whatever I wanted because they didn't have cable. And even if they did, I don't think they would watch
This
The
was
Man
the one
Show.
episode. She's like, I made it a point because you told me you were paying homage to watch this episode. And she's gathered her friends in the living room.
I have no idea.
Oh, you can't look what Adam did.
The only flaw with that scenario is she would need friends, a living room, and cable. But other than that, that would work. Yes, your
you got to
scenario.
build her a small living room with the vacuum.
I don't know what we dealt with middle-aged women at Comedy Central and censors and stuff, and I would have to get on the phone with them all the time because they didn't like Jimmy that much, and they didn't like Daniel, my other partner, that much, but they liked me. And so if we needed to push something, they'd go, Adam, get on the phone with Debbie Liebling and like sweet talk her a little bit. Call her up and like, hey, Debbie, how you doing? She goes, hey, the last time I saw you, it looked like you lost some weight. You're looking good. Yeah. And we talk for a little bit, and I'd go, now, the whole jizz spraying part of the sock puppet porn, let me give you my head on this. This is why I think this is perfectly fine, you know? Because we got in some weird zones where, like, it's a puppet, but he's spraying jizz. Now, I understand you have a problem with white spray jizz, but what if we picked another color, Debbie? Wouldn't that be okay? What about green? Does that seem okay? Jimmy would be looking at me like, how's it going? You know, I think I got her.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we'd have
Negotiator.
tons of negotiations.
To be like, I don't know, man, to be a kid watching you guys, and that's the way I know you, and then to see Jimmy Kimmel get a TV show like Tonight Show, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
that's so crazy of a transition, but it's I love that because it's, you know, the guy's got a great sense of humor.
I'm glad you found the connective tissue between The Man Show and Crank Yankers because it was the same people. All right, I'll show you 10 seconds of me trying to fuck my mom just so you just so you know. I don't know why they signed off on. I don't know why this is bizarre stuff. Oh, the beginning I think you can go to you can go to me showing up at the door. All right, I'm going on a date with my mom. She thinks we're going out for dinner. I think we're going out on a date. You can run it from there. Film this at my dad's house.
It's a great suit.
Why the flowers?
Oh, Mommy, a beautiful woman. Should never ask why.
I thought we were just going out to dinner. Why the fuss?
Hey, boy. What's with the limo?
Go back in the house, Dad.
Talk to your father like that.
Mommy, he'll ruin it for us. What the hell's wrong with you, boy?
Get back in the house, old man.
Don't say it.
I'm not scared of you anymore. Get back in the house before I kick your ass back in the house. Mommy and I are going out. Mommy.
Champagne.
Here, Mommy. Put your head
I love Mommy.
Enjoy yourself.
Oh, Adam, this is so expensive.
Shh. Don't say anything. Just drink up. Drink up.
Candle at dinner.
Mother, I brought you this. It's my Huggy Bookie. I want you to have him.
But Adam, you've had this ever since you were a baby.
That's just it, Mother. I'm a man now.
The puppy eyes.
This poor woman, this poor actress did not know I was going to fuck her at the end.
Oh, really?
Oh, my
She
God.
had no idea?
No, she wouldn't have agreed to do it if I told her we were going to fuck at the end. She didn't want to. We didn't tell her. And the man who played my dad got scared when I yelled at him. The actor, he took it seriously. You know, old people.
It's so tongue-in-cheek, though.
Yeah, well, it's a montage of us falling in love at the carnival. We ended up at the beach. We ended up in bed. And I did it. I didn't have any qualms with it. But if my mom had cable, maybe I wouldn't have done it.
Mommy, I got an idea.
What?
How about we go skinny dipping?
Skinny
Last
dipping.
one in's a rotten egg.
That's hilarious.
I've had a lovely time, but it's late. Now take me home.
But, Ma!
To your place.
We filmed this whole thing in my house.
Thanks for your thoughts.
You're grounded.
You could save this under Freud's favorites.
That's
crazy.
hilarious. I love it. This is amazing. Like
Yeah.
me saying shit about my mom. She doesn't speak English, so I can see whatever. Is your
Oh
mom don't
yeah,
watch cable?
my mom. Yeah, she couldn't afford cable. Or she never had cable the whole time I was on cable.
Do you ever just binge watch your old shit? You never watch your old stuff?
No, some like sock puppet porn I completely forgot about.
Okay, so it's like the first time I've seen it.
I have not seen it since the Man Show. Now, sometimes people will send me Man Show boy selling beer or something. They'll just they'll tweet it to me, and I'll go, oh yeah, and I'll watch that.
Question: the small Mexican guy on the Man Show. Remember the guy? Was he Mexican? I don't know if he was Mexican.
Ozzy?
Yeah, the little dude that was like, there's a sketch where he's the mom's nipples and you remember the toothpick popsicle sketch, and she goes in the freezer and she turns around and she's got the hardest nipples.
Well, there was household hints from porn stars, which we could be talking about. There was also
No, that was the wedding dress one.
There was also a bit where I did day out with the day laborers, and I took 3 day laborers, and we went out for a day on the town. We went to Chuck E. Cheese. We went to a spa.
Somebody did that recently on YouTube. They picked up a bunch of day laborers and took them to Disneyland.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they paid them for it, too.
Oh, I did that bit 25 years ago on the Man Show.
We were watching it like, this guy ripped me off. Fuck.
Yeah.
But there's a small guy in that. And then when you watch Kimmel, there's a little dude. And I'm like, you guys really love small people.
There was
little people, excuse me. But
God, we did a Man Show bit with something. We did a Manovations or something with midgets once, and I remember there's some midgets, fat guys and midgets. Hard to go wrong. Hard to go wrong with that. Like when we were looking for the Man Show boy, we're like, he's got to be fat. Otherwise, we're not doing this. It's like, why do you need a fat kid? It's better. It's just better. comedically.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so Man Show Boy was, that's how we. That's
But
how
yeah,
we rolled.
I loved you guys growing up. You guys are definitely. I would credit that show as something that definitely helped hone my comedic sensibilities.
Also, decided that you don't want to be a man anymore.
Yeah, straight up. After watching you and Jimmy, I was like, "Fuck manhood, Jesus Christ! Am I going to turn into one of these assholes? I'm going to fuck my mom."
No,
Jesus.
You transition to America, Adam.
God, what? I'll think of the most depraved Man Show bits.
I'm going to do a new
but-
Man Show. Comedy Central. We're going to call it the Trans Show.
Oh, I would watch that.
Yeah, it'd be great.
I'm profoundly flattered because most people go, I love the Man Show, and they just go, I love seeing them titties, you know what I mean? But they
there's
never
so much
really
more.
approach it from a comedic sensibility standpoint. Yeah, we were doing weird, bizarre stuff that people... but I don't think people knew what we were doing because they were so fixated on the trampolines and the beer that they didn't know I was doing shit where I was fucking my mom.
Well, you got to think, what year was that?
I guess we started in like 98.
Okay, so you got to think by the time I saw it, did it did reruns or did it do?
I don't know.
So if it started in 98, that means I caught it at 9. So I was watching it at like 9 and 10, and I'm sneaking. You know, when you got to watch it when your finger's on the button for the
Especially
Nickelodeon
when you
or
don't
some
lock the door.
Yeah. Well, I had a stepdad who walked quietly, which is the fucking worst.
Yeah.
You know those guys? They fucking ninja walk. They're trying to catch you doing something. You're like, get the fuck out of here, pervert. Let me watch my porn.
No, I have a couple loud walkers in my life.
Okay.
And there have been times when I thought about coaching them up, like, hey man, you're such a loud, and then I said, no, that just gives me a little heads up.
Yeah,
I like
this
the
guy's
loud
walking
walkers.
heel to toe in a soft cotton sock.
Yeah.
He's trying to catch you doing something so he can snitch. Piece of shit. Fuck him, by the way.
All right, we will take a break. We'll do some news.
Yeah.
And we'll do that right after this. Well, doesn't it seem like every week there's a major leak of customer info from phone or healthcare or other companies? That's right. People are getting all your information these days. I mean, they ain't breaking into your home anymore. They're getting your info. Well, that's where Aura comes in. All-in-one online safety solution helps protect your information about you, your family, and it stops it from being sold to data brokers. Data brokers are legally required to remove your personal information if you ask, but they make it difficult and time-consuming. Aura does the work for you. Aura also helps reduce annoying robocalls, telemarketers, and junk mail by sending takedown requests on your behalf. Plus, Aura monitors for identity theft before it happens and scans the dark web for your email addresses, passwords, social security number, and other sensitive information. So protect yourself with Aura, right, Dawson?
For a limited time, Aura is offering our listeners a 14-day trial plus a free check of your data to see if your personal information has been leaked online, all for free, while you visit aura.com/trust. That's aura.com/trust to sign up for a 14-day free trial and start protecting you and your loved ones. aura.com/trust. Certain terms apply. Be sure to check the site for details.
Let me tell you about Simply Safe. Well, when you travel, do concerns back home nag you? Did you lock up? Leave a window open? I recommend Simply Safe Home Security for that. Award-winning security and peace of mind wherever your summer plans take you. These guys have been sponsors for a million years. We all use their product. It's amazing. Order it, set it up in half an hour. Do it yourself. Don't have some guy drilling holes and dragging wires. Yep, they've given me and my listeners real peace of mind, and they want you to have it too. Whole home protection, a variety of indoor and outdoor cameras, plus sensors to detect break-ins, fires, floods, and more. And right now, you get 20% off any new Simply Safe system with Fast Protect monitoring. It's Simply Safe, 2 eyes in there, simplysafe.com/Adam. Let them know I sent you. You're going to love the product and save some money. Simplysafe.com/Adam. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
No, I don't like the word tranny. You see, I much prefer build a bitch. I'm a build a bitch. Because I get to put my parts together, you know what I mean? Every time I say I'm transgender, it never fails on stage. I feel my crotch get hot. People get to staring at my crotch area, trying to see if they can find the print. But I'm Houdini with the dick. You're not going to find the dick, you understand? My guy friends always asking me dumb questions. Say, Fox, how do you tuck it? I give him a dumb answer because I hate that question. I say, easy. What I do is I tie this motherfucker to a brick. I throw it through my legs real hard, let it come over my shoulder, and click it like a seatbelt.
Pink Foxx is on the Adam Carolla Show.
And Jiaoying Summers as well. Comedian Pink Foxx is where you can find Pink Foxx at the TikTok and Instagram as well. Jiaoying's got dates galore coming up. And you can go, where should we go to find all your dates, Jiaoying?
SummersComedy.com.
All right. SummersComedy.com. All right. Let's do a little news, shall we?
Sure. So there's a San Diego police officer that has recently resigned.
Oh, yeah.
So what happened was, this happened a while ago, but the story just came out, where he arrested a woman. She's in the back seat. They're driving. It's late at night. And then she's basically just going, hey, is there any way I can kind of work the system here and by doing you? And he's just kind of driving like, oh, don't say that. That's dumb. Oh, no, we're being recorded. Well, eventually he turns his camera off, and then the GPS of the car shows that they park in a residential area. But the next thing they know, another cop gets a call from this guy, and he says, hey, I locked myself in the backseat of my squad car. Do you have the master key to let me out? And the guy they let him out. And so after during the investigation, both the cop and the woman are both saying nothing happened. Nothing happened. He just went to check in on me. Nothing happened. And but they found semen on his belt.
Yeah.
So he has now resigned.
I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I do buy used belts. You know what I mean? So I don't pay retail for a belt. Plus, they're broken in, the leather ones, nicely, you know.
And if you're going to fuck, I mean, off duty, you got to wear the belt. That's part of the experience, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to fuck a cop? You walk in naked with your belt on?
Oh, if you're going to fuck a cop, he's got to dress like a
He's
cop.
gotta
That's
dress
part of the
like a
deal,
cop.
right?
He's got to pull his dick out of those blue pants.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would love that. But I
Yeah.
would not love him naked.
You know what I like? There's a part, the part of life where you realize something is, to me, the scariest and most important part of life, which is the realization. Like anyone who's ever had their car stolen, you walk out of the market or the Costco or something, and you go, I thought I parked by that palm tree. Well, I guess I can't find my car. You know, at the beginning, you're like, where'd I park? You know, and then at some point, you realize that, oh no, that's your space, and you know because there was a sign there or something, and it hits you. You go, shit. The moments after that, you're in business mode. You're like, I got to call the insurance. I got to get an Uber. You're taking care of business. It's when it washes over you, that moment. It's like 3 seconds of realization when you find out something. This guy, when he was done coming on his belt in the back of his squad car, went, okay, now I got to air it out. And he went to open the door, and it wouldn't open because you can't have suspects in the back of your car leaving when they want. And
child lock is on.
As soon as he pulled that handle the first time, he went. And then there was a moment where he went, I'm going to try the other door. But he knew it wouldn't work, but he still tried it. You know what I mean? And then he went back and tried the first door one more time. And it was at that moment, he had a boner all before that.
Yeah.
He was wrestling with, should I fuck this chick? How hot is she? Whatever. It's that moment. It's 2 seconds of him pulling the door.
I don't know if how hot is she mattered at that point.
How hot is she?
You're at work. All right, imagine that. You're at work. It's a long day. You got somebody in the back. I watched this clip yesterday, by the way. I read this news myself before you. And she goes, I want to fuck. I really want to have sex.
Yeah.
She's like very blunt. And he's like, oh, don't say that. As soon as he said, don't say that, you knew he was going to pull over.
He wanted to.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
this guy's pulling over for sure. Have you ever fucked at work? I mean, you've been a comedian for a long time, but.
Oh, no. I don't think so.
Okay, I have.
You
all right?
have.
I was a waiter at some point. Excuse me, waitress. No, I'm just kidding. But that's why it's fun, because I poke fun at myself. But I was a waiter at one point, and I worked at this restaurant, and it was like a very high-end restaurant, and the hostess wanted to fuck me, and I had a full section of people, and I had to go downstairs, and Well, I didn't have to, but I chose to go downstairs and fuck the hostess, right? In the fucking parking deck. I threw my apron over my shoulder and I went to work. Second shift. You know what time it is. Anyway, after you come, you're like, oh, fuck, let me go get those people that hot sauce.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They asked for it like 20 minutes ago. I really should go back upstairs and get my work done.
Which is now Thousand Island dressing.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, I guess I've never really thought about that because I have sat at tables going, Jesus Christ, what about the refill on the iced tea? But I've never thought that the person was fucking in the basement.
Yeah.
But that's now on the table
Yeah, I'm going to start
for me.
Such.
So this guy then has to call. First off, he has to scroll through the Rolodex. Like, who on this police force do I have some currency with?
Right.
You know, like, I'm not going to call the guy who hates my guts. Secondly, I need some plausible deniability here. Why am I locked in the back seat with this chick in a mini skirt and we're covered with sweat? Like, how did that door close? Why did he close the door behind him? Okay, he was checking on her, but why is the door closed? You know what I'm saying? Now, you hope it's a windy day, I guess.
Or a rattlesnake.
How is the door closed? That's where the real bust.
I don't know
the
if
body
you've been
cam turning off. Why did the body
exactly.
cam turn off?
That's what
Yeah.
gave him away. Because I'll be honest, if you've ever been in the back seat of a cop car, you know those are bucket seats. You know that's plastic back there. It's not comfortable. Not that I've ever been in the back seat of a cop car. I'm just kidding. But when that door shuts, you know, you could have said, "Oh, her cuffs were too tight." Anything like, oh, we got into a little wrestling match because she spit on me or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Like, you
it
know
doesn't
what I mean?
really explain the door closed
Closing.
behind him, though. That's the tough part of this equation. But anyway, so Jizbel, Captain Jizbel.
Captain Jizbel.
They should have named him. I mean, everyone at the precinct.
Oh, yeah.
I know he's gone now, but if they didn't hit him with the title of Captain Jizbel, then they're leaving money on the table.
I mean, they could have just called him Dickhead because that's exactly what.
And then you got to wonder about the chick. Like, was
How
she?
hot is she?
She's okay. She looked
not.
okay.
Yeah,
not
you can only see her. She's wearing a short red dress.
But is she married?
But that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Does she have kids?
That's what I'm saying about
Unclear.
being at work. At work, the hostess wasn't the baddest person in the world. She wasn't gorgeous, but I'm at work. I got 5 tables. You know what I'm saying? If somebody offers to suck your dick in the middle of a shift, what are you saying? No? That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Look at your producers back there. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm getting my dick sucked right now under the table.
I'll co-sign that.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah, where's Emmy?
yeah, she had a girl. The girl had a boyfriend, according to the news.
Not after that.
All right. No, listen, it's a kind of interesting. You know, if you're a decent looking chick and you're good to go, you have a possible get out of jail free card in your panties. You know what I'm saying?
Why didn't she offer up, for lack of a better term, the pussy before she was in the cuffs?
I don't know if she was cuffed, but she was definitely in the back
You're
seat.
cuffed in the back seat.
Listen, I've been arrested and I got to ride in the front seat.
Well, you're a white
That's
guy.
white privilege.
You're famous
sure
too.
is.
No, I wasn't cuffed. I don't know that they. I don't know
There's
that
a little bit of video. Can you go to that video, Byron, just see when they let him out? It's kind of the second half of that video. We can watch him. We can watch his.
He didn't fuck her
coworker.
while she was cuffed, though, right?
Maybe that's her thing, man.
Oh, could be her thing.
Yeah, it's San
Okay.
Diego. You know, they're kinky in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can see. So yeah, it's right here. So here's the other cop walking up to the car.
I'm glad it was a truck.
2:37 a.m.
Whose poor house was that?
He struggled for hours to call.
Okay, nobody in the front seat.
Oh, just the front
Oh,
first.
yes. Oh, maybe that's how you open the back. You have to do it.
Oh, I see. It's a latch.
Just learned a new trick.
Nice.
Good to know.
Step out of the vehicle for me.
Yeah, she's
for me.
cuffed.
Oh, her hands are definitely. Well, her hands are at her side, but
I looked like they were behind her.
kind of a little wide.
She
I
was
don't
cuffed.
know. I don't know. Run it back. Let's see.
Take
if
it back
we can,
and pause
let's
it
see
at
if
the.
we can see
We
it.
can see it.
That looked cuffed to me.
You think he fucked her while she was cuffed?
Oh, dude, all you got to do is lean to the side.
I don't think so. I think
I think he put the cuffs
My
on,
guy- my
waiting
guy's
for the
coming
guy.
over.
No,
Yeah,
look
the
at
guy's
her.
coming
She's
over.
cuffed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he put them on
She's
when the
thick,
guy's
too.
coming
Yeah,
over.
yeah. He.
Look at that thigh. She's nice.
Okay.
I can't see the face, but I'm just saying she's got nice legs.
Yeah. All right. Listen, I don't judge. But I do I do. Even the cop gave a little extra cop talk to the cop. He did could you go ahead and get out of the car for
Yeah.
me? Like he did extra.
He's just used to it.
But I want to hear that one more
Muscle
time because
memory.
he did extra cop talk,
He
which
did.
I always complain about. And it was a cop on cop,
You know this
extra
guy.
cop talk. Oh, by the way, just open the door. He'll climb out. You don't have to say anything.
I mean, this guy's protecting his own job at that
Yeah.
point.
All right, sir, step out of the vehicle for me.
Called him sir and shit.
Sir,
For me.
Yeah.
For me.
For me.
Right.
Wow.
I would've
My
thought I was
point
being
is you
arrested.
can say step out of the vehicle and leave it at that. You don't
enjoy
have to
that
say
moment.
for me.
He could have
Enjoy
called
that
him by his
moment.
last name and just been like, Phillips, what's wrong with you, man?
Extra cop talk.
Yeah.
I've always talked about it.
We don't love that.
They love
But
that.
always be suspicious if the body cam turns off. The Scottie Scheffler thing in Louisville, like he was accused of dragging a cop trying to get to his tee time.
Oh, that guy.
The
Yeah.
number one golfer. Yeah, so they just all those charges were dropped because they didn't have footage. His body cam was turned off, and he said like I was dragged and he ruined my $80 pants and we're gonna take this to court and all the charges were dropped.
The more that story comes out, seems like it's more on the cop and less on the golfer.
It is.
But all right.
Yeah.
Thank God we all went nuts for one news cycle over a Zero Burger,
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, it was an interesting story because
Well, also, you got to feel bad for the poor person that was killed by a bus moments earlier.
Exactly.
Like, hey, you didn't make the news, but this cop tore his trousers, and this rich guy may have missed his tea
almost
time.
missed his
He
tea
almost
time.
missed his tea time.
My plaid pants.
Right, and you're dead, and no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Brooks Brothers doesn't even carry this
that's right.
anymore. The guy's pissed off. That's
Yeah.
funny.
So earlier this week, Britney Spears took to Instagram showing her jewelry boxes all emptied out. She claimed that they've all been stolen. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we could show you. I'll show you the video of her just showing her followers. And no, didn't give any further details to the robbery.
Guys, for real, all my jewelry was stolen.
But
It's
Oh, she still sounds like that?
yeah,
Mother Mary.
Little girl, compressed voice.
Yeah.
House 'cause I'm scared.
That's a tell. When I did Loveline for a million years, that's a bad sign when you hear that voice.
All my jewelry is gone.
So the free, I pose this: defund the police or free Britney. What has been a worse idea in terms of
I think they're equal.
3 years down the road? What has yielded worse results? Because I remember everyone went nuts with free Britney. I don't know. I think Britney needs a conservatorship now back. I think she's coming undone.
I think, yeah. Whatever the reason was that she was being supervised, I think we can see why she was being supervised. Right?
And also, she's blowing through her money, man. I mean, she needs some guardrails.
Yeah, she is. She needs my mom to control
Your mom
her.
would settle her hash.
My mom would first of all call her fat. You should lose 20 pounds. Don't eat.
That's right. Put
You're
that
a
machete
cow.
down,
You
bitch.
should, you should look like what you used to. That's why men leave you. And then my mom is gonna control her.
Jesus
well,
Christ.
Your mom would really get her on the straight and
yeah,
narrow.
she'll be amazing. She'll be very healthy with my mom's control. Yeah. Also, I think, at least her mental illness is still here, even though her jewelry is gone.
Your mom's yelling at her, firm up those tits.
What would your
Loosen
mom
your throat."
sound like if she was yelling at Britney Spears?
去死吧，肥猪 Go to hell, you fat cow.
Keep going.
角度难看，显得你更胖。The angle of the camera is weird, make you look fatter.
One more.
多喝点鸡汤，别吃了，吃死你 ！Stop eating, you fat cow. Stop eating. Just drink more chicken soup. Don't eat any food. Your fat on you is gonna last you for 2 years without dying.
Have your mom tell her to stop dancing with knives.
别拿着刀跳舞，本来脸就丑，别滑到了。Don't dance with the knives. You're already ugly. You're gonna slap your face and just get uglier.
I
yeah.
feel like
See,
one
she
of
doesn't
those
need a
senators-
conservatorship. She's
Why
a,
you
she's
why
a
you
tiger
depressed?
mom.
你
Yeah.
干嘛伤心？因为你看镜子。You depressed because you have mirror in the house. Cover them up.
Like a Jewish funeral.
What's it called? You know when those guys are in court and it's like the UN and they got the translator in your ear?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom said that too. It's good. I don't get fat and I'm miserable.
No, it would
Everybody's
work.
miserable.
It would work. Your mom could straighten her out.
She can really, just control her. Don't eat. Don't be with shitty men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's coming undone. I mean, she was leaving like the Chateau Marmont at like 3 a.m. after like fist fighting with her boyfriend.
Who doesn't do that? It's the Chateau Marmont.
It's true. And her new boyfriend
How
seems
old is he?
dicey. I don't know, but I sort of looked at him and I kind of went, I don't know about this guy. He had a look.
I want that
don't
finger
trust.
shaking at you.
She's just recklessly spending all of her money.
You thought defund the police was a bad idea? I know you're a conservative guy.
Yeah, I did. Well, I would think it was a bad idea, not if I was conservative, but if I lived in a shit neighborhood with lots of crime, I would feel that. I would feel that way.
I don't know if I want cops rolling down my street in tanks and shit. Like,
well, that's an aspect. The militarization of the police, that's something else.
That's
I think. But in general, I would want the police around if I lived in a neighborhood.
I want the police to get paid well so they can shoot the people. Need to be shot.
I want better training for police and also better psychological evaluations, and to make sure that they don't hold prejudices that'll make them shoot somebody in the fucking face because of how they grew up. That's how I feel.
They should get paid.
Everyone agrees with that. Yeah. It's the approach to it.
They should make the policing job more competitive. They
Black
get paid
guy
more.
bad. That's hard.
Yeah, but it's also a narrative because how many unarmed black men you think get shot every year in this country?
Probably a lot, man.
Like 13.
Have you been to Camden?
They do the numbers. The FBI does the numbers.
The FBI does the numbers?
It's not as much as you think.
It's like your caddy's your son.
No, they get crime statistics
He's like,
worked
hey,
out.
what I shoot today? What the fuck is the? You know what I mean?
No, it's a more of a narrative than it is a truth. It's built on something, but the actual statistics are fairly low.
I think that maybe shootings wise, it is it could be whatever. But as far as like brutality and the way that police deal with black people, it's not always great. And
No,
I'm saying this
I
as someone
agree.
who's had I've had great run-ins with I'm very respectful. I've been taught to be respectful. I'm like, oh, I know the guy's doing his job. He wants to go home to his family at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So
he
I'm
wants
not-
a blowjob in the backseat of the cruiser first,
Exactly,
and then
so
he
I-
wants to return to his family.
And I like cuffs, and so I'll hike my skirt up every once in a while. So-
He's going to be in for a surprise.
Heyo.
Heyo. All right, let's do another one.
All right, so there's a new survey saying that most Asian American adults actually support the use of SAT and other standardized testing along with high school grades in college admission decisions, but they reject considering race or ethnicity to determine access.
Yeah, because they do good on the testing, and then they don't get into UCLA.
Yeah. It's not fair because we are so good. Because our moms abuse us so hard. We are so good with the scores, but then they can't take everybody's Asian.
Well, there's another side of this, which is if you take somebody, whatever the color they are, and you put them in an environment that's over their head, like when I left high school, you could have got me into Cal Berkeley, but I wouldn't have flourished. I couldn't do the work. I wasn't up to it. I was junior college material. So if you take people, and this happens, who are technically not proficient students enough for this level, and you put them into that level, they flame out. Mm-hmm. So you're not really helping them that way anyway. But yes, the whole race quotas and standards and stuff, it's gone off the deep end. But you're not even considered a minority anymore because you do too good in school, which I always find interesting.
Yeah.
So minority doesn't mean minority anymore. It means
exactly.
it means
Asians are
being
people of
poor.
color now.
Are they?
That's what they consider them.
You
I
do?
mean, if it's Asian people or people of color. And I think it's because it branches
UCLA
into-
wouldn't consider
No, they
you
wouldn't
for that
because we're going to
person of
flood
color.
UCLA. Every single person is going to become Chinese, Asian, if they just pick the students based on the scores and grades.
Yeah, growing up, UCLA was University of Caucasians, lost among Asians.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what they said?
And USC was University of Spoiled Children. Oh, we had acronyms for both our college campuses. That's right.
That's why I want my son to be trans and gay, so he can just do the normal school and get in Harvard.
Oh.
Because he sucked dick.
You think that gets you in?
No, with
Have you said, let me show you my bank account. Huh?
With the straight A's because he get it.
Oh,
Good
shit. I
score.
got straight A's in college. I was
You did?
transgender. Yeah.
Where'd you go to
trans in
college?
Oh, man, I'm not even going to say. I went to like a regular community college. But I'm one of those people, I wanted to leave school early. I knew what high school was for, and I had a grand idea. So I signed myself out of school. I tested out. I was
Out of
like,
high school?
Yeah, I was like, I'm good. I made it
Really?
to senior year. They're like, hey, because I moved a lot as a kid. So they were like, oh, your credits are shit. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not doing 2 years of fucking 12th grade. So I'm just done with this.
So you take a GED at that point?
You take a GED. and then you go to college because a GED plus college it's the same at that point. And I'm not an industrious, but I've always been in entertainment.
Oh yeah. So you went to junior college or community college?
Yeah, my cousin was a professor at the college in my town in Jersey. So he kind of was like, "Hey, just come over here. I'll help you enroll. I'll introduce you to people. You'll be fine."
Did you go through in 2 years and get your degree?
Yeah, I did the 2-year thing. It was super quick. And, I mean, it felt quick. I got
Was it
straight
faster
A's.
than when you came in the basement while waitressing?
Was it faster than when I came in the bed? No, that was the quickest, actually.
Okay.
And there was no apron over my shoulder. But, I enjoyed college. College was fun.
If the chick's ugly, you put the apron over your head. My dad told me that.
Well, it's the long aprons because you're in fine dining at that point.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so you just drape it over.
If you got an ugly one, put it over your head.
Oh, mine. Oh, okay,
yeah, so you don't have to see this.
But you could just put it over her whole.
I've done that. They take offense to it.
Is it?
I can't breathe.
Oh shit!
It's so hot in here. I've heard it all.
It smells like crab cakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I fucked somebody in college in one of the in one of the classrooms.
In the classroom?
In the classroom, yeah. So we had like a free period, and there was an empty classroom, and this girl's like, "Hey," a little backstory. I was a singer-songwriter as a kid. My first 2 songs hit the radio when I was in high school, so I grew up a lot different than the average person. But she wanted some help writing a song for like a thing she was doing for school. So we go into the fucking classroom and I'm singing and I'm playing piano or whatever, and she just looks at me with that fuck me face, like the woman behind the cop.
What is the fuck me face? Can I do it?
Yeah, do it. It was that. It was exactly that. I just got hard a little bit. So it was
a good fuck me face.
Yeah. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard everybody under the table went, and you just heard it.
Yeah.
So I fucked this girl on the
Hold on, I gotta
desk.
wipe my belt off. I soiled my belt.
So you could drop it off at Goodwill and a guy could get fired. But wipe my dick off on a fucking test too. Some guy got like a
Scantron.
Yeah, it was like, somebody has to retest now. I probably saved somebody's fucking college career for that.
It doesn't even. By the way, I want to hear more about this story, but it doesn't pay to be a cop anymore with all the fucking jizz wiping and body cams and stuff. Back in the day, just fucking do whatever you wanted. You know what I mean? Like
shoot a fucking unarmed black guy.
Any other job,
everybody.
It would have been okay.
Yeah, no, not anymore.
Well, they made being a cop look fun when I was younger.
Yeah, because they had shows where they were fun.
Yeah, yeah. And then, you get older and you're like, oh, actually, this is a lot of paperwork and people are really shitty. And
everyone fucking hates you.
Yeah.
I mean, I see footage. The guys are walking around. Kids are dumping buckets of water on their head and shit.
On cops?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the only kids walking away after that are Caucasian because they're beating the shit out of a young black child.
Okay. Well, pull up black kid dumping water on
Oh,
white
is that what
cop's
happened?
head.
Oh, he had that in his pocket, everybody. He set me up.
No, I wasn't. But now that you say
it's
it.
on homepage.
Yeah, you can't fucking do that to black people anymore because everyone's filming you and you'll be done.
Yeah, you sound upset about it.
Yeah, no, look, it's a narrative here. You have to look up the statistics. It's like 13 to 20 or something unarmed black men get shot every year by the cops.
I have an ex-fiance.
The cops aren't even white anymore, not in this city.
Well, I mean, this is what I was going to say. I have an ex-fiance, and the person that she was with before me was like, not the chief of police, but like some high-ranking cop, right? And she saw a lot of behind-the-scenes shit. And one of the things she used to talk to me, because we had this conversation all the time, was like, you should put police in the same types of neighborhood that they grew up in. If you're putting this suburban guy who's never met a black person before, because those people exist, in a fucking, rough neighborhood, he's going to be Mr. Trigger happy, or he's going to be Mr. Taser happy, or whatever he's nervous, right? He was raised with stereotypes and shit. He's nervous. You got to put somebody that's used to that. What about the communal people? Remember Sanford and Son? Remember Smitty? You know what I mean?
The cop?
Yeah. Smitty came around, he had his partner, but when he did the talking, it was him. He was talking jive and shit. I'm not saying we should talk jive.
The white cop was a square.
As fuck.
And they would always have this stupid joke in the 70s, which they would do they would do it with like the Brady Bunch, or they would do it with the square cop, where he would like show up and he'd go, "Hey, Fred Sanford, my main man, give me 5," and he would do this weird stilted square jive talk, but it was the dude.
He was very hokey.
He was hokey, and he had his cool black partner.
Yeah.
All right. What else?
Well, speaking of Fox singing, I was checking out your Instagram. You have an amazing voice.
Well, let's see.
Yeah,
I think we have a few minutes of that.
Beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Let's listen to her sing.
All right. I got to bring back the pigtails.
There I
Looks
come.
good.
Lay your body down beside me. Expose your soul and let your mind free. You told me once that you would try anything, and I hate to think that you would lie to me.
Wow.
Yeah. Come on.
Now I know why you fucked that chick in the spare classroom.
I know why she gave you those eyes.
Thank you, man. It's one of my originals, too.
Jiaoying, how's the guy doing on the violin?
Oh, man.
You would know, right?
I'm very, very wet right now. Yes, you're smooth, bitch.
Hey, you know what, Jiaoying? We've had this conversation. All right, he's going to start. You got to stop barking up my tree before it's in you. Okay, so but yeah, I sing, and that was an original.
You know what you're doing right now, Jiaoying?
She's
I'll
getting
tell you
more
what
and
you're
more
doing.
attractive.
Remember when Mike Tyson was on that flight? And there's those two guys who was like, hey, let's fuck with Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
Mike Tyson.
yeah.
And he was like, okay, all right, okay. But
I'm gonna need you guys
eventually,
to back off.
what happened?
She's gonna put me through the mattress.
What ended up happening?
Put you through the fucking mattress. I'm gonna
You're
jump over the seat.
poking Mike Tyson in the dick right now.
You are Dyke Tyson.
And Dyke Tyson has a rich history of betting people in basements and school classrooms. I mean, you're poking the fucking bear.
Yeah.
I like the danger. I think it's gonna become the little puppet porn thing.
When's the
later
last
on.
time you felt pleasure?
Your voice is sexy, and I just did not know you have your big dick still attached. Now you are like, you probably are gonna be the guy who get to fuck me. The lady, I'm sorry.
Hey, well, you know what, Jiaoying? What's your next tour? What's your next tour date?
I'm going to Philly.
You going to Philly? That's where I'm from.
Oh, that's going to be a
take me with you.
hookup
That's where you're going.
in the
Take
city
me with you.
of brotherly love.
Yes.
June 4th.
I'm
City of
gonna
brotherly
come.
love.
Who's opening for you?
I have a Chinese guy, but he can die.
That's what's up. I'm coming. I'm coming to Philly. Let's do it.
June
You're
4th?
coming.
I'm coming. I'm coming to Philly.
Coming?
Don't book me my own hotel room.
Oh,
Oh, you'll stay with
I'll
you.
figure it out.
You'll figure it out?
I got family.
you figured out.
Who's the Chinese guys open?
Peng Dang.
Oh, that means small cock in Chinese.
And in English.
He met a
And in
girlfriend at my
English.
show. I hate it. I've been single forever. He featured for me in New York, and he met a girl in the audience. They are engaged. 2 months later.
Pink's having a good time over there.
That
so
was
pissed.
hilarious. That means small cock. You beat me to it.
I did.
If I'd have been drinking water, that would have been a spit take.
Oh, well,
Holy
you're
fuck.
going to Philly. Get rid of this kid.
Yeah,
You don't need this guy.
let's do it. Well,
Yeah.
we can overdose together. Shit. That's what the song was called, by the way.
Oh, it was. Yeah, bring the mushrooms.
I'm down. Yeah, the mushrooms is hilarious. I microdose and macrodose. So I
Do that with booze.
Yeah, I love mushrooms. They're delicious, and the ones I get are delicious. And I'm sponsored by a weed company. Shout out to Lime. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, but shout out to Lime. They're a company here in Los Angeles. But so I get like people see that I have a following and I'm personable, so they give me shit to try.
What
know
do
how
you
that goes.
you got some mushroom in you now?
I do have a little. I got like half a mushroom chocolate in me right now. So this
And
is
what's
like
that make you feel like?
euphoric more than anything.
Good.
I feel like I feel good. I'm not tense. And also like, for those of us who are trapped in our own thoughts a lot or like creatives, it's hard to untangle those wires. I feel like mushrooms is just kind of like, you pull out a surfboard and you just fucking ride the wave, So it works for me. Yeah.
All right, so you got a little mushroom in you.
A little mushroom in me.
Jiaoying,
Trying to put a
you're
mushroom in Jiaoying.
I don't like
Mushroom
drugs.
head.
I don't enjoy drugs. I want to feel miserable. I feel like I don't want to feel like Michael Jackson. I'm not that cool. I just want to feel like you in shit. So I keep working so I get better. I don't want to feel good.
I don't think Michael Jackson wanted to feel like Michael Jackson.
No.
He's stupid. He should Because I mean, he was so gorgeous.
He was
before
beautiful.
the face.
I
before
loved
the-
Michael Jackson.
before
I cried for
everything.
3 days.
3 days.
Only
I cried
3
for
days?
3 days.
Only 3 days?
You want to know why? Because they wanted us to cry. Every time they'd play it, they'd play like fucking gonna make a change for once in my life. And then you'd be fucking sitting there, more on the coverage of Michael Jackson. I'm in fucking Jersey, by the way. I'm weeping on the edge of the bed. They just made it sad.
It's been over 10 years now, I think. Isn't that crazy?
Really? That is
It's
crazy.
been over 10 years since he's been dead. And then the one you should really feel sad for is Farrah Fawcett, who died the same day. And no one ever remembered. People are like, well, let's book Farrah Fawcett for the show next week. Like, she's been dead for 13 years. Like, but you do not want someone who's the most famous person in the world dying on your day if you're famous. But if you're not famous, you do, because then everyone will kind of remember, when did Nana die? Yeah, Michael Jackson said. That's how I remember. But if you're Farrah Fawcett, you're screwed.
That's how I
She should kill herself the day before.
She should have killed herself the day before. I don't know.
Did she commit suicide?
No,
She
but
should.
Jiaoying's right.
She should. I would.
Well, she didn't know Michael Jackson was going to
Well,
die.
I'm gonna hang on, put a dick in my mouth one day longer after Michael Jackson. Next day, I'll just wait for next day. Don't put a plug. Just wait for the next day.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah.
That's
She
how I
worked
remember
so
when I
hard
had
for her
COVID.
career. Now it's all ruined by Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson's been dead for 15 years.
15, wow.
15
That's a long
years.
time. 15 years.
Was it Korea? Who did the nationwide moonwalk when he passed away? Oh, you guys remember that?
Maybe the Koreans.
No, seriously, it was
Sounds
like
like them.
it was like
The
it was
K-pop Koreans?
a few thousand people all doing like Michael Jackson moves at once in like commemoration. It was
Like right after he died.
right, like as soon as he passed, it was like all over the world. They're showing us that the whole world loved Michael
They
Jackson.
got all the moonwalkers together.
Yeah, they didn't do this for the Queen or anybody else. That's
No.
no one got any love.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about him and the kids stuff, though?
I don't think he did it.
You don't think he did it?
No.
But do you think you're being influenced by your love of the man? Because that can happen.
I think that we had a very similar upbringing. I was also raised Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, really?
And I was a singer as a kid. So I think that there's an amount of childhood that you don't get to experience when people are always trying to mold you into what they think you should be. And for all of those street psychologists, no, that's not why I'm transgender. But maybe, who knows? But yeah, I don't think that I don't know. I don't think that, it's all been debunked. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't know if it's all been debunked.
I mean, the
but
guy had
it's gone away.
basically a billionaire. And you got parents trying to tell their kids to fucking lie for just do it for the fucking, the guy just like roller
I had a friend who went to
coasters.
Neverland Ranch.
You did?
Yeah. So what happened was his dad's coworker son died falling off a bridge, and Michael Jackson heard this story and invited that family to come to Neverland Ranch and bring whoever you want. So he brought my friend, his coworker, and his son. So he got to go to Neverland Ranch. Said it was a blast.
Well, and
no weird
all he had to
stories.
do is push his coworker's son off a bridge.
Yeah, that's all it took.
Wow.
That's all it took.
Check this out. I grew up with this on my wall. That's my uncle and my cousin with Michael Jackson.
Oh my God, we're looking on your phone.
My uncle's one of the coasters. I'll give these guys the photo so you
Your
guys can-
uncle's one of the coasters?
Yeah.
And you waited this long into the interview to tell me that
You
your
waited this
uncle
long?
We know all
Yeah.
about your genitalia.
sung Charlie Brown
Yeah.
and Yakety Yak.
Yeah.
And long and lanky John. Was it John? Along came
I know Charlie Brown. I know
Charlie
Yakety
Brown.
Yak.
There's Yakety Yak. There is
Now these are the original guys. My uncle's not one of
Right.
the original guys. There's new coasters.
Right,
Pull
the
up the
coasters
new
are
coasters.
so
They
good.
just dropped an album.
long and lank. See what the coaster song is. There's a
They're
long
so
came.
handsome.
They are really handsome.
Along came
Make the hair
John.
These guys'
Long.
edges. Look at that swirl in
You
the
got
front.
Searching, you got
sexy.
Youngblood.
Searching and Youngblood are
Along
big
with
hit
the
coaster songs.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to the coasters. All right, unfortunately, we got to
we gotta
wrap this because we got William Sadler
This was too fun.
waiting in the wings.
So
well,
fun.
you guys can come back.
Please.
Yeah, we'll come back
Please.
Yeah.
as one.
As a couple.
Yeah.
This
We'll let you know
time.
how the sex was, actually. That's a
Yeah.
good reason to have us back.
We're not- we
It'll
need
be,
to follow up.
great. I may be a cunt, but the sex is gonna be good.
It's all good. Make sure you install ramps for wheelchair access.
Oh, okay. Okay, mama.
All right. Go to summerscomedy.com is where you can go. And for Pink, you can check out Instagram or TikTok as
Or YouTube.
well. Or YouTube. Comedian Pink Foxx, 2 X's. is where you go for that. And William Sadler, the guy's been in Die Hard and Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure, Shawshank, every movie. We'll talk to him right after this. O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts. They're in the business of keeping your car on the road. They offer friendly, helpful service and the parts, knowledge, and everything else you need to maintain and repair your vehicle. They've got thousands of parts and accessories in stock, either in store or online. You never have to worry if you're in a jam. They got your part. The team at O'Reilly Auto Parts can test your battery for free in or out of your car. It's nice not to have to yank that thing. If it needs to be replaced, they'll help you find the right battery for your vehicle. Need your windshield wipers replaced, brake light fixed, or quick service? They'll help you find the right parts or point you in the nearest local repair shop so you can have the pros do it. Whether you're a car aficionado or an auto novice, you'll find the employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts are knowledgeable, helpful, and all friendly. The professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts are your one-stop shop for all things auto, do-it-yourself. And you can find out what you need in-store or online. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today, or you can give them a visit, O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam.
Bertram's back.
You're welcome, ladies.
Here's a sneak preview of the new animated show from Adam Carolla and the Daily Wire.
Sorry, just need to find a thingy to fix my gaming chair.
Flathead thingy or Phillips head thingy?
Who's Philip?
Subscribe now at dailywire.com and tell a friend, Mr. Bertram. Now back to the Adam Carolla Show.
William Sadler is our guest. He's zooming in. He's got a movie out called The Stage of Twilight, and it's available to stream now on demand. William has been in, well, about every movie you've seen or remember is how I would say. Good to see you, William.
Nice to be here. How are you?
I'm doing better now that you're here. I heard, apropos of sort of this, back in the day when you were training to fight Bruce Willis in Die Hard 2, that you trained with Benny the Jet Urquidez.
That's correct.
And I used to train at the Jet Center way back in the day.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you know him?
Yeah, in Van Nuys, California.
He didn't have a lot of time to teach me because he designed the kata, that thing, that dance that I did naked at the beginning of the movie. But he also worked out with me. But I was always amazed. This guy, what is he? The world champion kickboxer for 68 times or something. He's built like a fire plug. He's just this like short, incredibly powerful.
There were rumors that he would do death matches in like the Philippines and stuff, like back in the day, like crazy,
like blood sport
stories, like blood sport stories. And
oh no, I don't believe that. I don't believe he was so nice. He was nice with me. I don't know about death matches. That's
that's just the rumor around the Jet Center.
That's like, oh well, okay. He probably started that rumor himself.
And he was like unbeaten. He was like, hey, I don't know, 80-0 or something crazy.
Yeah, no, it was nuts. It was nuts. It was like, I scratched the surface with him, but it was great. When you finally get into the swing of it, when you learn the kicks and you learn the punches and what have you. And he would put on these big pads and I would chase him across the room and he would yell out, roundhouse, side kick, right kick, left kick, right kick, left kick. And he was like, pound the crap out of him. Just hit that pad as hard as you could. And you can't hurt him.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great fun. I mean, he was great fun anyway.
I think he's still alive, last I checked.
I'm seeing he is, yeah.
And he had his brother, Blinky. His brother-in-law, Blinky, was in there, too. They're such a weird people. Kickboxers are a weird group, man.
I know. People say, do you keep up with it? No, I don't.
No, I don't keep up with anything either.
I don't. I learned what I learned for that.
Well, let's talk about you. When did you start? Like, where are you from? Did you come out to LA? Did you come out to New York? Like, what's the arc of your experience in acting?
Well, it started in high school in a little town called Orchard Park, which is just south of Buffalo. And I used to do the variety show. I did stand up first. I would tell jokes. I was Banjo Bill Sadler. I would tell jokes and play the banjo and then tell jokes. And one day my English teacher, Dan Larkin, said, "Why don't you try out for this TV show or this the school play, the senior play?" And I did, and I got the role of Elwood P. Dowd and Harvey, the guy who sees the rabbit and so on.
Yeah,
the Jimmy Stewart role.
Right. Oh, you got the Jimmy Stewart role in Harvey.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
but I was 18 years. I was 18 years old, 17, 18 years old, and it just. I had a ball. It was great fun, and I think it was. He suggested that I go audition for this community theater group in Amherst, New York, that was doing a Pulitzer Prize-winning 3-character play called "The Subject Was Roses," and it was this little drama. I auditioned for that, and I got that. And now, I'd never acted before in anything. I'd never seen writing like that before. It was beautiful and poignant, and it delved into who these people were. And I was just hooked. I thought, wow, this is, and not only that, I seem to have some natural proclivity to this. I have some natural talent at this as well. So the director of that said, "What are you doing after this? What are you doing after high school?" And I said, I'm going to Buff State to study industrial arts like my brother. I'm going to be a shop teacher, but I'll sneak around and do theater on the side. And he said, "Just let me make a phone call." And he called the head of the drama department at Geneseo, State University College at Geneseo, New York, Alice Austin. And he told her, he said, I got this kid. And he put me in a car and he drove me the 60 miles to meet her in Geneseo and see a play and have dinner. And I was all of a sudden, I was off. I was doing plays at Geneseo. I was enrolled. And I did nothing, play after play after play. Then I got a scholarship to go to Cornell, study it for 2 years. Then I went to New York and did theater, off Broadway, and then on Broadway for a couple of years. And then I did my first movie. So I really came to it. I really came to it the long way around.
It seemed I'm always envious when I hear that people had tutors and people that took interest and saw a spark in you, a talent. The way it should be, by the way. It doesn't happen enough. I somehow missed out on that faction of life. But I really did. I just didn't have anybody. I could have benefited from it.
There was no mentor. There was nobody who pointed to a door and said, "You're good at this."
No, I did not. There was nobody in my immediate family who did that. There was nobody in my circle of friends that did it. And there was certainly nobody at North Hollywood High that did that. I had zero conversations about that with anybody ever. And it slowed me down eventually.
It would.
Eventually, I was able to kind of break through it, but it took a lot of years. But I love to hear the stories about the guy at the high school level saying, "Hey, you should do this." And by the way, doing what adults in their position should do, which is recognize something in somebody else, a younger person, you know?
Teachers.
Right.
I can count them on less than one hand. The people that have said, how about this door? You know?
Right.
His name, that English teacher's name was Dan Larkin.
It only took one or two people, though. That's the good news for you.
Well, yeah. Well, apparently I was, you know, I was looking for something.
You had ability.
I had some talent, but it's like, you know, it's like there are people who move well, and then there are unless they train for the ballet or train for football or train for whatever, the raw talent is, you know, it needs to be developed. It needs there needs to be discipline. And how do you approach it? What do you do with all this energy? What do you do with, you know? So I had a lot to learn, and then I had to learn it all over again when I started the movies.
What was the first movie for you?
Well, there was a couple of little tiny TV things, but the first movie was Project X with Matthew Broderick and Helen Hunt and the Chimps.
Yeah, that's right. Broderick, I forgot about that. When you were doing the Shawshank Redemption, I always ask this about anyone who's in any real seminal movies. Like, did you know what you had when you were shooting it? Like, did you know there was something special here?
I knew it was a really strong script. I knew it was a strong story, but I had no idea that, and I don't think any of us did, had any idea that this was going to be, you know, it was going to go on and have a life after when it came out and it closed in like 3 weeks. It lost money.
Oh, really?
In the theaters.
Right.
It opened in the theaters, and then it closed, and it was like, oh, well, that's it. And then it was nominated for, I think, 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and they put it back in the movie theaters for people to see. But again, it didn't really develop an audience until Turner Classic Movies. I think Ted Turner started showing it over and over again, and on DVDs, or rather not
rentals.
DVDs,
yeah,
VHS.
Yeah, I know.
Blockbuster. People could rent it, and little by little it was discovered, and grew and grew and grew until it's you know, it is this thing that we had no idea. There were people came up to me after it opened and said, you know, this is a classic, and I said, how about if we wait just a couple of years? Let's, you know, let's talk again in 20 years. Tell me if it's still a classic, because, you know, I look back at some of the movies that I've made, and they don't all have a shelf life like this one, you know.
Well, you know, I think
I've dated or
just the fact that it's a period piece. It takes place in the 40s, I guess, 50s.
Sure.
I mean,
like throughout, yeah.
But you know, because when you watch a rom-com from 1987, it looks very dated, and it has a timestamp on it, and everyone is dressing a certain way, and their hair's a certain way, and
even phones, or
they got their flip phones, and even if it's a good one,
the shoulder pads,
the shoulder pads, and the color palette, it's hard to make it a classic because of that, unless it's and you know, so you got Gone with the Wind, and you got the Shawshank Redemption, and it's just easier. Or you make like a Roman gladiator thing, you know?
No idea. No, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, because it lives in time. It lives in some other time and place, and it will always live in this other time and place. It's not I know what you mean. It doesn't feel dated because it's set in the 40s and 50s, or
Yeah, but I do think it is. I do laugh a little bit. I'm trying to think of the movie I was watching the other day, but like in Oppenheimer, when
I just watched that.
Yeah, it's great. It's long.
Yeah,
but when costume design gets nominated, I'm like, that's just a bunch of clothes your grandfather wore. Like I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from the person, but every human being just dressed that way in 1941. You just got to go to a thrift store and get those old slacks and a fedora hat. I don't know why. I got to think of the movie I was just watching recently where it was the same thing. It was just how people dressed back then. Now, you want to make an argument for Barbie or something else. That's fine.
Dune,
right? When I make a Dune argument, I'll hang with that.
Well, then they're making it up as they go along. There is no Dune. There was no Dune. You're right.
Yes,
you're absolutely right. They do drawings, they do sketches, and come up with something that no one has ever seen before.
Yeah, they could have got out a sewing machine and make something bespoke. All they have to do is go to the Salvation Army and buy some old brown slacks and tell skinny guys to put them on.
Well, there may be more. There may be a little
possibly,
bit more
possibly a scotch more, but
just
a hint, a hint.
But I do understand. I do know what you're talking about. It's like Star Wars. Star Wars required more costuming, imaginative costuming than Oppenheimer. I would agree. And that hat of his, anyone could put that hat on and look like Oppenheimer.
Yes, they shouldn't have been nominated either. Yeah.
I forget. Did he win?
I think what's so sad about the Oscars. I wrote on the Oscars.
Tell me what's sad about the Oscars, please.
What's sad about the Oscars is I was driving home as a person who worked on the Oscars, and I thought to myself, who won Best Actor? Or who won? 10 minutes after it's over, I forget every person that won. It's the biggest night of their lives, the biggest deal in the world. And then it comes and goes, and a month and a half goes by, and I cannot remember who won what for just about anything. The only... But for you, what are your let's trade some best of all time movies from someone who's been there and done that, been in some of them. And
you mean movies that I think are the best of all time?
Yeah, just the best of all time.
I think there was, Shawshank comes to mind, but that aside, I think one of the little like gems, just from beginning to end. There were no holes in it anywhere. It's just lovable from beginning to end. Are things like Singing in the Rain. Mm-hmm. There was a movie called Breaking Away.
Oh,
about this kid.
I got the poster for that movie.
The kid who wanted to be Italian, and he's speaking, and he wanted to join the Italian bicycle team.
The Cinzano team is the team he wanted to join. I'll fill in any breaking away blanks you got. You want to know what the name of his cat was?
What was the name of his cat?
Well, he was calling the cat like Giuseppe, and the dad would come in and go, "Your name is Jake." Don't listen to this guy, because his dad was going nuts because they're in Bloomington, Indiana, and he has got a kid who doesn't have a job, who's out of high school, who thinks he's Italian, but he's not Italian. And it's a gem.
And he's driving his father nuts with this ID stuff and the ID food and until it all comes crashing down on this poor kid at the center of it. And you gotta love him. You just have to love him. He goes to work for his dad, and there's this one line which he says, "Everybody lies. I just didn't know."
Yeah, he gets it's heartbreaking. He gets his whole His whole world is. At some point, he finds out the Italians, the Cinzano Italian team, is coming to town, and he's got, I'm going to race in this Bloomington, Indiana 100-mile road race with the Cinzano team, and he's going nuts. And then he finds out they're just assholes who cheat, and they take a bike pump out and they shove it in his spokes, and he goes over the handlebars.
Right, and his knees are bleeding, and he's trashed out on the side of the road.
It's a great scene because he comes home and his dad's like, "Where's your trophy? You win every time." And he's like, "Oh, Dad." And he's like, "Dad, what happened to Papa?" And everybody's like, "I'm done." He's done with the fake Italian accent and everything.
But you asked me about it's just this tiny gem.
It's a great movie.
I don't hear many people.
Just you and me. Just the geniuses. Just the people who know movies. It's only you and I.
But he comes back. He gets himself back together, and he wins. It's this wonderful underdog. Against the cutters against the college kids, the kids with all the advantages and all the cars and all the clothes, and he's just the son of a cutter in this quarry. And there's just something. There's just you go away from it feeling like there's a I thought that was a beautiful film. There are lots of them. It's funny. I just watched Oppenheimer the other night, and I thought, it's a thing that I do when I watch movies. Is I can't help it. I sit there and pick them apart.
Yeah.
I said, well, they spent a fortune on this, and they spent way too much on that. What am I missing here? Why don't I care?
Yeah.
Why don't I care about this guy?
Yeah.
He's confused. He's like a nuclear Hamlet. He's got to develop the bomb, but he's conflicted about it from the very beginning, because he knows where this is going, and yet he's got to go there. And I thought the women in the show, Blunt and so on, were kind of wasted. I don't know. I was left. Yeah. No.
I agree with you in that.
It was wonderful. They
breaking away.
Fortune.
Breaking away left you with a feeling, right? Like a real feeling. Like you cared. You really cared what happened to this guy. You cared what happened to him and his crew. You cared. I've said it all the time. If you get 20 minutes into a movie and you don't care, it's kind of over. From that point on, right?
Well, yeah. I guess that's what I look for. I want to care. I want to get moved.
Yeah,
I want to worry about this. Don't open that door. And you see it all the time in Hollywood. They put together. It's just like Legos or something. You put together you put a star and a this and a it's just assembled somehow.
It's a formula,
yeah.
It's a formula, and unless there's something at the heart of it that you care about, everyone in the theater does this. They just sit back and it's like,
yeah,
isn't it time for popcorn?
Our sound engineer Dawson has a question for you.
Yeah, William, I'd like to ask you a question about another cinematic masterpiece, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Mm-hmm.
Now, both you and Adam, one thing you have in common is you both portrayed the character of death. Now, when Adam portrayed death in Family Guy, I did it with a straight, nondescript American accent. For some reason, William, you chose some kind of accent for death. And when you famously deliver the line, "You have sunk my battleship," it really hits home. How did you just decide death has an accent? or was that some direction from? So walk me through that process, please.
I actually auditioned. I asked my agent to ask the casting people. I said, I want to do an accent for this because the way it was written wasn't funny. There was nothing funny about even the battleship scene. There was nothing. It wasn't funny. And I remember this. This was my theater background. I had done at the New York Public Shakespeare Festival. I had done a play with an actor named Jan Triskin, who was Czechoslovakian.
Okay.
And he would speak everything was like that. It was you have sunk my battleship. He would just mutilate the American, English language. He would just mutilate it. And this, I could listen to it read the phone book, and it was funny. So I used that accent. In the audition, I was this guy, and they found it funny. They actually told my agent. They said, no, he shouldn't do an accent because Americans don't do accents. And I was like, really? Step back. And they didn't. I did my first audition, and then they were looking at Christopher Lee. They're looking at Christopher Lloyd. They're looking for someone old, and I mean Christopher Lee would have been brilliant casting, but not funny, or not as funny. And about 2 weeks after I did the first audition, I got a call from Karen Ray, the casting director, and she said, "Bill, you got to come into. I need you to go to a Halloween store and get some gray and put it in your hair and black out your teeth because they think you're too young. Come back in and do the same audition, but you." And I thought, well, that's going to look like crap. So I called Scott Edo, who I had just done Die Hard 2 with, the makeup man, and told him my problem. He said, "Come on over in the morning. I'll do an age makeup on you." So that's what I did. I showed up at his kitchen. He made me look, I was 40, I think, at the time. And he made me look like a believable 70.
Wow.
80 something. I looked awful, but it was film perfect. It was like, you bought it.
Yeah. The makeup job.
And then I drove to Orion and I did the same audition with the same actor, with the same accent and same scenes. And one of the producers said, he looks a lot older in person. And I was like, and I got the job.
And then,
but they still did. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, on the way home, you swung by Denny's and got the senior special, and then celebrated.
Work the system.
Work that system. Yeah. Sorry, you're going to say?
No, I was going to say they still didn't know what he looked. What would he look? What would death look like? And they were playing with, different makeup ideas. And so finally on the first day of filming, they decided we're going to go with the white skull cap and the no eyebrows and the white makeup. And all the very, very first, I'd never met Alex or Keanu before. The very first thing we shot was "You Have Sunk My Battleship," the first day.
Oh. Wow.
I'm terrified, right? I'm like, my heart is pounding. And but I remember the producer and the director, everybody was like, "Is this going to work? Is this going to work?" He's young. They didn't know,
Right.
and after we filmed the games, they said, they all went, oh, whew, that'll be good. That'll work.
The Czechoslovakian accent is a really out there choice and call, and I get, as funny as it would be, I probably would be on the side of going, but this could be a little confusing or distracting. Like, even though it's funny, I mean, it's really nice that they went with it.
Yeah,
and it was it's a crazed call, but it also makes sense that death in every country should speak in the accent of the country that that death represents. It's not just. It's a very ugly American thing to say that death sounds like he's from Nebraska. Or
New Jersey.
Or New Jersey. Like, Japanese should have their own version of death, and so should the Czechoslovakians.
I think in this case too. Go ahead.
No, I didn't know what to do with the guy. And part of the genius too was that I had played a lot of villains before that in the movies, and the very first time you see Death in Bogus Journey, he's scary. They're terrified. He's this frightening figure until the games, when it's like best 2 out of 3, best 3 out of 5. You ever sank my belly? Oh, what was my favorite line was, I believe that someone did it in the kitchen, in the study, with the candlestick. Yeah. He says, Professor Plum did it in the... You! And he's like, you're wrong. It was Professor Plum. I said Plum. I said, it was like, he lies, he cheats. It's like, I loved it. I loved how he just like crumbles in front of your eyes into this,
He goes from villain to boob rather fast in that movie, and I just think that the choice of that accent really made the character memorable.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. And it's a, you don't say this as it pertains to movies like this, but a bold choice.
Yeah. A bold choice.
But a bold choice for the casting directors and the producers to go, we'll go with it. That is, you don't see that in Hollywood that often.
Well, they wanted somebody. I think they were looking for like the Seventh Seal, because it's a takeoff on the Seventh Seal that where Death plays chess, right? Mm-hmm. It's an Ingmar Bergman heavy drama, and Death. Death plays chess for this guy's soul, and it wasn't electronic football or Twister or Battleship or. I loved it. He just like he loses at everything. It's like he's never lost it. He's never lost in his life. And then 30 years later, we did the Face the Music. And he's still having a fight with them about, you kicked me out of the band. And they said, you were doing 40-minute bass solos, dude. And he said, I was in the groove.
Well, let me give you a plug that you earned with that wonderful accent. A Stage of Twilight is the movie. It's on demand, and you can stream it wherever finer movies are streamed. William, when you come out to L.A., as you're apt to do in your business, you got to come by and see us in person.
I would love to,
and we can talk.
I would love that. I have to say, in all my career, I've never done a movie with. In some ways, it's a romantic movie with Karen Allen, who is wonderful. She's brilliant. She's great. She's great to play opposite. And I don't kill anyone. I don't. There's no gunplay. It's this wonderful sort of story about this couple who've been together for 45 years and they still love each other. And, they're dealing. I've never, in some ways, it was this, for a character actor like me, it was just this banquet of, getting to do this and getting to do that and getting to go places that I don't get asked to go in films much,
Well, and Karen Allen is great. I think people remember her most from Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But I think Animal House as well. And she looks exactly like my agent, James Baby Doll Dixon, which is strange.
Is that true?
I'm telling you, if you find a picture of like 40-year-old Karen Allen and 40-year-old James Dixon, they are essentially doppelgangers. And the first day I met James Baby Doll Dixon, he's Jimmy Kimmel's agent and Jon Stewart's agent, Stephen Colbert's agent. He doesn't bring me up that often. But the first time I met him, I was like, you, my friend, are Karen Allen. And as and then his partner, Mike August, looked exactly like Katie Lang. So I then announced that they're both, let's see, we got a picture. Let's see if we can pull a picture.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, now look, it's not an insult to either one of them because Karen Allen make attractive woman, attractive man, and so would James Baby Doll Dixon.
I see the
resemblance there.
I see where you were going.
All right, we'll give you. Sorry, she was gorgeous. Yeah. She was beautiful to play with. We had so much fun. As soon as we would giggle. We spent most of our time off screen giggling at each other.
Yeah,
a stage of Twilight available everywhere. William, thanks. And when you're in town, come by. Bring your accent.
Bless you.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
And we'll talk all about Breaking Away.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Take care.
Take care. All right. Vegas tonight. Me and Jimmy Kimmel's Club. And then Timonium, Maryland. That'll be Magooby's Joke House. Doing 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. So come on out and say hi. And I'll be in Oregon and New York, and I'll be in Washington. Just go to adamcarolla.com for all the live stuff. And until next time, I'm Adam Carolla for Jiaoying Summers and Pink Foxx and William Sadler and Dawson and Max Zapata saying mahalo.